Hey guys and gals, Jim back here with an update. I think we'll call this the final video on this 1/1000 scale USS Defiant with all the lighting and everything. And I know you guys were probably looking for last night, but I was decided to take a break for a day. I had some issues with my base. You might not notice it, but where I filled it in with the wood putty, the wood filler, or I got my inset piece of plywood and my 1x framework. I had it all sanded down. It was smooth. You couldn't feel nothing, but once I laid a coat of paint on it, it kind of starts showing the seam and everything. So I sanded the first coat of paint off. I went back over it with my orbital sander. I got it all smooth, filled it in with a little bit of putty, got it all smooth again. And for some reason, the putty, it takes on a different paint tone than the rest of it or something, because the putty is more like a plastic filler. I mean, it's a wood putty, but it's a type of plastic almost with some wood, dust in it or whatever. But it wants to take on a different look. But hey, it's not going in no kind of show for judging, so I'm happy with it. It serves the purpose, some place for me to hide all my wiring and fiber optics and everything. What I'll probably end up doing is making some kind of, I'm going to be experimenting. I got some decal paper I ordered today and some testers decal bonder. I do have a printer. It's actually got the regular three colors plus the black, the printing black, plus it's also got photo black. It's a HP, I think it's a 8650. They said that should work awesome for making my own decals and everything. So ordered some decal paper. They had it real cheap at Hobby Link for like five or $6, somewhere in between there. A package of 3 sheets. They're 8x11. So I figure what I'll do is I want to make decals for those little Star Wars kits, the ones that come with the stickers, because I got 3 of those X-wings to do, and I'm doing them one up in each different scheme. I think it's red 3, red 4, and red 5 or something like that. And the stickers get more intricate with more reds and yellows than they do on the regular X-wing and stuff that I've built before. I just painted up to a little bit of detail. So I figured for that cheap, I'll give it a try. If it don't work out, no harm done. I'll end up painting everything. But if that works out, I'll probably do a test sheet on a piece of paper first, just to see how the colors come out. And then after that, I'll go ahead and use a sheet of decal paper and see. And it was a 3-pack, and like I said, they're 8x11.5. I think Hobby Lobby sells some testers decal paper, and it's almost like the size of a postcard. So anyway, I figured maybe I'll try printing a picture of the Deep Space Nine station and lay it down on the front, and it'll cover a lot of that stuff up. But I mean, it doesn't look too bad anyway, unless you see it in the light. You can really notice it more. So, but anyway, show you the underside. Got the underside done up. I got my circuit board in place. The little white tube over there, that's the LED for the strobing lights effect, flashing lights. The LED is there over there is for something else. I got my 2 switches in there all wired up. I got my plug-in and all that for my power pack and all that. So she's all buttoned up. One thing I did forget to mention is when I build a bigger base, like say for the 350 Enterprise, you got a 3-foot ship sitting on a 3/8 diameter pole. So it wobbles a lot. I make everything underneath the base reinforce a lot more. Don't mind all the paint on my hands. I've been making another base for something else today. But I do reinforce a lot. I make bigger corner braces and screw them in besides the glue. That way it's not going to go nowhere. That center piece I put in, it's a lot more heavy duty. It's glued in there real heavily, epoxied, and also screwed in so that way if the ship wobbles, it does have a tendency to wobble because it is a heavy ship sitting on one little rod. So I want to make sure it's not going to go nowhere and end up cracking the mounting points where I got my brass tube running. So, and inside that big 350 refit, the whole bottom half of the hull where that the tube comes in for all the wires to pass through, I think I put about 1.25 inches. I filled it all with epoxy. I used the whole, in fact, the 5-minute epoxy you get in the squeeze syringe, two side by side tubes connected, and then you squeeze the plunger and it comes out both sides. I use the whole whole tube on that, just to reinforce that point. So if it does sway a little bit, it's not going to end up cracking the plastic and stuff. And that front deflector housing, that where it's all connected to, where that tube runs into, that's probably the weakest point. I glued it. Before the glue starts setting up, I used the tester's tube glue. Before the tube got real set up and start drying, I pulled it back apart and I put another bead of testers in there and shoved it back together. So that's got so much glue, it's pretty much one solid piece now. So I'm not too much worried about that going anywhere. But in this case, what I did before I finished it all up, I took and I drilled some holes and just used some 1/8 dowels in the corners and then one on each side where I got my center piece of wood with the rod going through it and stuff. So for a little model like this, you don't really have to worry that much, but I like to reinforce things and make sure that they're going to stay together for good. So, but anyway, that's the model. You saw it the other day. It's all lit up, but now it's mounted on the base. No wires hanging out. No alligator clips connected to it. So, what everybody's been waiting for. And I hope you're awake, Travis, because I'm doing this especially for you. But anyway, here she is on the base with all the lighting turned on. I just got push button switches, and I do paint those the same color as the base. It doesn't harm nothing, but got her all lit up on the base. All that. Pretty much couldn't see any light leaks anywhere, so I'm pretty happy. Got the 2 red thrusters back there lit up. There's the blue, and got the underside. I covered the windows with canopy glue, and then wiped it off with a damp rag. And it took a couple minutes only for them to dry up and all that. So pretty happy the way that turned out. And turn her back around. And I got my 2 little yellow beacons down there, whatever those are for, and all that. And so you can see the windows up on top of I don't know what they call it because the bridge is back there, but on top of the head. And then I don't know how well it's going to pick this up, but there you go. There you got my navigation lights. 2 in the back up there. The one in the front up there on the head. And then there I got the 2 on the bottom. And the one up front there, you can see it on and off. So I got that all done and set up. And all that. I like the way those turned out. And they are small. But remember, this is only a 1,000 scale ship, so you got to kind of keep everything downsized. And normally for smaller models, I use 0.25 millimeter and 0.50 millimeter for something that might be a little bit brighter, like a spotlight or something. I use 0.25s on the navigation lights. I mean, you try to keep everything in scale. If you go too big on your lights and even your window lights, it's going to make the model look more toy-like because nothing's kept in scale. So that's something to keep in mind, not so much for you veteran model builders, but like you the newcomers to the hobby that want to light up a model kit and all that. It's something to keep in mind. You always want to try to keep things in scale. And I know I talked a lot about that even when I did the Star Destroyer a while back. I even dimmed down, put an extra resistor on my power line, my positive line coming in from my plug-in jack, and it kind of cut the brightness on the fibers down to make it look more in scale. If they're too bright, they distract from the model and they kind of make it look more fake or toy-like than something real that you'd see in the movies and stuff. And I've done that on quite a few kits. When I finish them up, if I'm not happy with something, I'll take and splice an extra resistor to cut down on the brightness and stuff. And, they're still going to work 12 volts and everything, but they just won't be as bright. So it's something you want to keep in mind. Also, I got those 2 red ones. I just took and used the clear Model Master red on those. My side markers. I got the green, the red. Same thing on those. I just used the clear Model Master on those and just went over them lightly. I didn't, really go over them too heavy. Otherwise, they'd be a lot darker and they might not show as much. And I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera. But that other LED I got underneath and my switch, that other switch on here, before I buttoned her all up the other night, when I was getting ready to close her up, I decided to drill out the weapons. There's one on each side, one on top, one on the bottom, the same on the other side. There are more on the filming model. I think there's some kind of photon phaser in the center down there. They got someplace in the back, they got one on each side. They got someplace up here, they got one. I think it's down around the side area in here somewhere. But I decided at the last minute to drill those out. Now those are clear plastic pieces, and I was kind of hesitant because usually clear plastic, it's brittle, and even with a small drill bit like I use, it still might have a tendency to crack. And those aren't really, they're like a little locating, like a hook that sits on the inside of that plastic piece. And I didn't want to take a chance of breaking it, but I got a little brave and did it. Now the bottom ones, the way they go, you kind of got to drill them. Once you get them started, then you kind of got to angle your drill upward into the nacelle, because those, the way they're shaped, they're like an angled piece, and they do glue in there and stuff. But again, it's a real small glue joint, and you got to get your drill on an angle. And I use 0.50 millimeter fibers on those, and then I ran them through, and that's what's connected to the other LED in the back, where all where my switches and everything are. And you can kind of, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it'll show on camera, but what I did use, yeah, you can notice them a bit. I used the extra fast flashing LED, and I used a white one. I know a lot of people light up the different photons. I know in a Klingon ship, you know, everything's red and green as far as the laser cannons and the photon torpedo launcher in the front, but I noticed on this when I was watching a lot of videos from the Next Generation and everything, or not the Next Generation, from Deep Space Nine, and I noticed they weren't red, they were white, you know. So I went with just a white extra fast flashing LED, and you know, you can kind of pick it up a little bit where they're flashing and stuff, and you can kind of see almost more the reflection and stuff. Maybe if I turn it over, you'll actually see it. It's almost like a strobe. But anyway, that's what that's for. And you see it real good in person. I mean, it's a real quick, almost like a, you know, real fast flickering. You know, it's almost like they don't hardly even shut off in between. But maybe if I turn, drop the camera. But anyway, maybe if we turn them, sorry about that, getting everybody a little dizzy there. But anyway, now that we're back in shape, maybe if I turn them off and start them up again, they do kind of shine because they're picking up light from the rest of the ship and everything, and the fibers. I did put some shrink tubing over them. I found out that if you heat up the shrink tubing, the 16th inch, beforehand, it'll shrink up. It'll leave a big enough gap in there where you can slide a fiber optic or a couple smaller ones through it. But there you notice it when I turn them on. And once they get flickering real fast, it's kind of hard. The camera doesn't pick them up. I do use my cell phone. Like I said, I'm not into doing big productions like a movie. I'm more about building models. I like to show off my work, so I don't do all the fancy intros and all the, you know, editing and stuff like that. What I do, what I record is what you get. But so I do have a better camera, DSLR style, and all that. But like I said, I'm just not into going through all that trouble. And you know, I got my computer, I can do editing and stuff. But to me, this is good enough. But you gotta get the idea. When I first turn them on, they start out a little bit slower, and then they get to their speed. I forgot how many hertz they're running at, but basically that's what I did. So, and like I said, you can see them better in person than you can on the video. So, but anyway, after I got you guys dizzy and all that, so, but that's pretty much what's going on. That's the finished model, and we're gonna call this the final video and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the build series, and anybody new out there, or anybody that never lit a model that wants to go try it out, I hope it was helpful to you guys. I know there's different ways you can light a model. You don't have to use LED tape and everything. You can do stuff with just regular LEDs. You know, you don't have to light everything if you just want to light the main clear parts and not drill any windows or anything else out. But I hope it was helpful to all you guys. And like I said, those, you know, where that red is back there, That was all cut out. The model comes just molded all that. So I cut those out and did the red in there, and then the blue, that's part of the model. Those are clear parts. Those their parts are clear and stuff, so that's pretty easy. But you still got to cut out the piece of plastic behind them so you can get some light through it and stuff. But that's pretty much it and stuff. And I had fun building it. It's a great little ship. But anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Hope it, if anybody's got any questions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments. I want to thank all my new subscribers I got during the build on this. I'd like to thank all the people who normally subscribe to me for staying with me. I want to thank everybody for their nice comments. I want to thank everybody for hitting the like button. And one other thing, there's somebody out there that's been wanting to learn how to light a passenger ship, something on there, or like the Queen Mary 2 or something. This is not anywhere near what you need to do to light a passenger ship, a cruise liner or something. So that's I've been watching a lot of videos on that and stuff, and I've been thinking about picking up the small 700 scale Titanic just to do how to light a cruise ship in that. And they actually, the way they light them up to make it look like the walkways on the outside of the cabin areas are all done. They don't do light blocking. They just let the light shine through the plastic and everything. And so as a sci-fi modeler mainly, I'm not used to that. I'm used to doing light blocking and looking for little light leaks here and there. But I noticed on those, the way they get it to look like the passageways are lit up, nothing's light blocked. So it's a little different to me. But I might give it a crack just to show how to light a different type of model for somebody that's been interested in that and wanting to learn that. So anyway, that's it for now. I got another base I got to work on. What happened was I got to building some kits, and I got carried away building. I started 3 different builds, and I said, I got to slow down and make some bases. I still got to come back with a final video on that little mini Star Destroyer with the Death Star. I'm going to work on a base for that over the next couple days, and hopefully put up a video in another couple days on that one. I want to get that one knocked out of the way, and that one's not too difficult because it's just a 9-volt battery running it, so I ain't got it to get too detailed with the base or nothing. Just something simple to hold up the models and hide the battery under. And I got a edition today in the mail from Amazon. It came all the way from Japan, but it was a decent price. It was only $9.50 and free shipping. Surprisingly, free shipping coming from Japan. But that's the TIE Advanced X1 and the TIE Fighter set. That's going to be for that trench diorama, the Death Star attack set that I showed you guys a while back, did the review on. That's going to be for that. And to go along with that trench, I'm doing it up kind of different. I got some plans on lighting for it and stuff with some fiber optics and this and that. And also I'm going to have fun with that. But that's basically the set of those to go with that trench deal with the X-Wing and a Y-Wing and possibly another, maybe a couple X-Wings and a couple of Y-Wings and stuff. So, but that was a pretty good deal, free shipping. I got some other kits coming from Amazon from Japan too, and those were all free shipping. I got another set of these because I wanted 2 of the regular TIE fighters with the TIE Advanced, like you see in the movie. I ordered the mini, the 1/350 scale Millennium Falcon, and they also had on there, I think that was maybe about $10, and they also had was it the AT-M6 walkers, and I think those are pretty close to the same scale as the little 350 Millennium Falcon, so I thought I'd do a little diorama with those. I ordered 2 of those, and I thought I'd do a little diorama. I forgot what movie it was from, but where those were walking, coming through a desert or whatever type terrain, and the Millennium Falcon come in and start start battle and stuff. So I'm gonna try to do a little diorama of that. I thought that would be little pretty cool little thing to work on stuff. I don't know if I'll do any lights and anything because everything's so tiny, but you never know. Might give it a shot. So anyway, until the next time, thanks for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and we'll be talking to you soon. Okay, everybody have a nice night. Happy modeling. Take care, and we'll see you. Bye.